Police identify a suicide victim as they probe a drowning. Those are our top stories in our Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, January the 5th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Police have an apparent suicide on their hands. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler said the victim is Frank Thomas of Pilgrim Place, Christchurch, who has a mental history.
At this stage, I can say that we are conducting investigations into the unnatural death of a 66-year-old Pilgrim Place B Christchurch man, which occurred sometime around 8 a.m. this morning. He was discovered hanging from a showerhead by his nephew in the bathroom. Our investigations are continuing with that matter.
Meanwhile, police are also looking into a reported drowning at Miami Beach, Christchurch.
Police are conducting investigations into what appears to be a drowning, which occurred sometime after 8 a.m. this morning at the Enterprise Beach in Christchurch, where an elderly man was seen floating face down in the water. He was pulled unresponsive from the water by another seabaither and subsequently died at the scene. This elderly man appears to be in his late 70s, and at this stage we are appealing to the public for assistance in identifying this man. He is about 5 feet 5 inches tall, slim built, dark complexion, has grey hair with a receding hairline. At the time he was wearing a grey t-shirt, a red and blue pants with black slippers. Anyone could assist us in identifying this man is being asked to contact the Oysters Police Station at 418-2612.
And 5 people, including 2 young children ages 2 years old and 5 months old, were injured in a 3-vehicle collision along the Barbados section of the ABC Highway this morning. They are 37-year-old Brian Lowe of Kingsland, Christchurch, 24-year-old Carl Bell of Calendars, also in Christchurch, 29-year-old Wayne Allen of Haggett Hall, St. Michael, and his 27-year-old girlfriend Sharon Williams and their 2 children. Bell, a 6th person and driver of one of the vehicles, was unhurt. Everybody except him sought medical attention. Meanwhile, a 28-year-old man of Moncrief, St. Philip, was slapped with a $10,000 fine today when he appeared in the court before Magistrate Christopher Birch and pleaded guilty to 4 drug charges. Rashad Rommel Belgrave, who admitted to committing the 4 offenses for which he was charged, was fined only for the unlawful possession of cannabis. He has 6 months to come up with the money, or he'll have to spend 1 year behind bars. Belgrave was reprimanded and discharged for possession with intent to supply, and convicted, reprimanded, and discharged for the remaining counts. Meanwhile, police are seeking the public's help in locating a missing man. He is 63-year-old Alfred Kelman of Skeets Road, the Ivy, St. Michael. Kelman was last seen by his sister Dawn at about 11 a.m. on Thursday, December the 14th, when he left her home at Mansion Place, Bayville, St. Michael, to run an errand. Kelman is 6 feet in height, has a low haircut with a bald patch at the top of his head. While the type of his clothing is unknown, police report that Alfred Kelman has sunken cheeks, a broad convex nose, small pointed ears, a thin mustache, and is cleanly shaven. In other news now, relief appears to be at hand for the residents and businesses affected by the chronic sewage overflows on the bustling south coast. Rapid Response and Communications Manager for the Barbados Water Authority, Joanne Haig, told Barbados Today this morning that new proposals are now before the board designed to bring short-term relief from a crisis that's responsible for the closure of 2 food establishments and an apartment hotel in Worthing, Christchurch.
We put a couple of proposals to the board where we are, with the way forward is to how to fix the problem in its entirety. However, we are trying to take some steps right now, which includes taking some of those impacted directly via their plumbing, internal plumbing, to take them offline as a temporary measure in order to give them a little ease until we get the problem resolved. And we're also working assiduously to get the levels down. Once the levels go down, then we will share. Once the levels go down, then of course we implement the plan. The plan will be shared with the media shortly, as soon as the relevant authorities see it, which is in their hands, and then we will then be able to move forward from there.
The Water Authority spokesperson, however, assured that steps were meanwhile being taken to bring temporary ease while the board prepares to examine the proposals.
As you can see in the area of Worthing, by the old Scotiabank, we set up a bypass by the area that we suspect was the block. That is not the solution. That is just the first phase towards the preparation of getting that block repaired. So we are doing a number of things. It's a multifaceted approach. We have to do so many things at the same time in order to tackle this problem. So one would imagine that it needed some time, it needed some organizing because of the various aspects of what we have to tackle all at the same time. So this is why we would have taken a little bit of time, and of course, we need the resources, we need the equipment, and we also need the finance in order to tackle it in its entirety.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. A Court of Appeal judge in the Turks and Caicos Islands, Madam Justice Paula May Weeks, has been nominated as the Trinidad and Tobago's choice to replace Anthony Carmona as president of the Twin Island Republic. If elected, she becomes the first woman to become a head of state there since the island attained political independence from Britain in 1961. And on the international scene, states that have legalized marijuana, including California, which allow the recreational drug from January 1st, are pondering the legal economic consequences of federal powers overturning popular votes.
Just days after marijuana became legal in California, consumers there and in other states where it's legal are facing the possibility of federal prosecution after Jeff Sessions ripped up another Obama policy. The world's number 6 economy did not vote for President Donald Trump and has been among liberal strongholds resisting the White House. But some insist this new freedom is misguided.
If we look at tobacco and alcohol right now, for every $1 brought in through taxes on them, and they're taxed heavily, $10 is spent in societal costs. And we're already seeing the same pattern emerging in Colorado, Washington State, and places that have commercialized marijuana.
Those in the industry say they've been given the green light, and local politicians back the voters.
We will not be bullied by the Trump administration or by the Department of Justice. We will not be bullied by an administration that seems obsessed with dismantling things that are actually working.
And finally, politicians in Belgium want to change the law to allow owners to be laid to rest with their animal companions, an option that isn't available in many European countries. Now, the Flemish Socialist Party plans to make the case to Parliament that masters and their pets should also be allowed to share a funeral provided they are cremated. MP Bob Blenders, who's leading the charge, explained that pets are family and it would be a pity to separate the owners from them even after death. That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or even like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic weekend.